All right, welcome to my FX buddies, and welcome to December. And I have chosen to call this Do Something in this December, right? So because it could fit them, it could fit Iraq, it could fit you, right? Get ready, start getting ready for 2026. Don't wait till 2026, start now. Anyway, so another month, we're here, right? Okay, but I'm kind of happy to bring you this. There's really no change. Well, not actually, the rate has changed. The dollar dinar rate is gone in a direction we don't like. But that is because speculation. These darn people keep coming on the TV and saying stuff that sets people off. Mashadani. Well, anyway, wait. Let me do my little intro. All right. So, I say podcast because there are more than one medium to engage with this content. But the best way is to go to the blog, and today you're going to want to go to the blog because I am sharing a video that goes with, well, it doesn't even go with the article. I got this thing translated 3 different ways, and it is not, but for some reason they put this video in this article. So, but we'll get to that at the end. Let's see. So you would have to go to the blog, and let me just say YouTube, anything that I show, discuss, cover, falls under the Fair Use Disclaimer Act because it's for critique, comment, training, and whatever else makes it qualify for that. Alright, so now how you get to the blog is you go to myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, but I know that's a lot to type in or to remember, so wherever you are enjoying this content, look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. You activate it, click, tap, swipe, whatever, right? And another box opens, or you'll see the words link to my FX Buddies blog, or you'll just see the link there, and you do whatever, and then you're here at the blog, the free blog. You don't have to put your email address in, and I'm not selling anything. All right, so let's get into it. I feel like, there was hardly any news yesterday. That's why I didn't post. So now, we're in December. They have lots of holidays in December because they accommodate, they have the Baghdad people, they have the Kurds, they have the Christians, the Yazidis, and there's one other. So not everyone celebrates everything. Maybe the Chaldeans, maybe? There's another group, and they celebrate a pretty serious holiday to them, right? So it kind of slows down the news cycle. At least in years past, in December, the news had slowed. So, the way that YouTube, I hate to say that, but I already said it. The way they are with the notifications, and then I may not post every day because I don't like wasting time, yours or mine. So I don't know. I will, I'll post, and I post to Twitter when I remember. So I don't know. I just maybe check every day, every night, because I post at night usually. So yeah. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Now, it is different. This is a different December, right? Because we have the results of the election. Prime Minister we're waiting for. The American delegation going to Baghdad. We have that, which I know other people are saying they're already there. I don't have any articles for it, and that's what I do. I go by the articles, right? I like to hear the hearsay, right? I like to hear it, but for my sanity and to not be on the roller coaster, I like articles. Okay? All right. So thank you again for your thumbs up, for your comments, and oh, I know there's some comments. Oh, yes, there's a comment about, do I think Iran is going? And let's see. Well, I'll just address it now because I actually tried to, but I don't know what I did. I know I deleted the part that I typed, my reply, but then I couldn't get back to the original comment. So, I hope that person is listening. I think it would be highly unwise for them to not, whoever them is, right? To not revalue Iran at the same time, because they do trade. Iran and Iraq do trade. They only have plans to increase the amount of trade they do with each other. So if they don't, I know that would entail probably removing lots of sanctions, right? I understand that, but they are going to be doing trade, and there'll be a huge deficit, right? There would be a surplus for Iran and a deficit of trade for Iraq, right? Plus, that would make them even more want to steal money, right? So, and Iran is having such a hard time. I feel sorry for the people. I feel sorry for them. Iran's never done it. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say they've never done anything to me, but I know they have hurt Americans in the past. I do know that. But it's government to government, right? We always feel not sorry, but I don't like to see people suffer, especially when it's not their fault, right? Anyway, so yeah. But with all of that, if you didn't see the last video, they have a gold currency. It's called, what was it called? The Imami. E-M-A-M-I. Yeah, look that up. And if you missed the last episode, don't worry. When this one's done playing, a little box pops up, and you just click that box, and it will automatically play the last episode for you. You don't have to do anything, right? All right. Well, you have to click that, but yeah. All right, so I hope that helped. No, I don't know. I don't know anything because I'm just a regular person like you, following this, reading stuff that I normally would not be reading, I don't think anyway, right? If I didn't have an interest in the rate change, I wouldn't be reading this stuff. But I'm glad that I am. I have learned a lot. Okay, so now that we're 9 minutes in, let me get to this. CBI issues new cash rules. All bills must be accepted. So, last week, yes, I guess it was last week since this is Monday. I guess Frank was talking about, well, the people that he text messages with had said there was something on the TV about bringing bills and that, and I was like, well, I don't see anything in writing about that. Well, guess what? In Kurdish news today, they had an article. The central bank wants to solve the cash problem. Some types of currency, even less than 10,000 dinars, that's the dinar note, right, are not accepted from some banks. So the currency has accumulated among citizens to solve this problem in the latest guidelines of the Central Bank of Iraq, private banks, and currency dealers. The CBI has issued new guidelines to deal with all types of Iraqi dinars. The central bank has issued new guidelines. I don't know why that's there twice, but it is. All right. The 250, the 500, and the 1,000 Iraqi dinars are the least traded in the market, banks and currency dealer markets, and in some places are not accepted. So the small amount of money has accumulated among citizens. The CBI had earlier said it had a shortage of cash. One of the reasons being the deterioration of the balance between the currencies. So they issued new guidelines and must deal with all types of Iraqi dinars. So here's a person, Anwar Musavi. Is that how you say that? My eye is itching. So if you hear me struggling, it's because of that. I don't know why my eye is itching. Okay. Mind over matter. Alright, so he's a currency dealer. And he told, and let me just show you. So this is the video. Right here. Let me turn the volume down. So, where's Anwar, right? Maybe that's Anwar? I don't know. It could be, though. Maybe he's out in front of his, maybe that's his little store there. Yeah. But, so what I did was I put this video at the bottom of the blog because I got two different translations, and we're going to go over that because the other stuff is all, the same, basically. All right. So he told Kurdistan, the news, right, that there is no problem in providing any kind of money to pay salaries, and shop owners must cooperate in the markets. Iraq spends about 7 trillion dinars monthly on salaries, the central bank said, by the 10th of each month. You know what? I'm going to put you on pause. My eye is burning. I think I may have gotten some jalapeno juice in my eye. Hold on. Okay, wow, that is so much better. Oh, yeah, I was chopping, stuff. And anyway. All right, so let's see. Iraq spends about 7 trillion dinars monthly on salaries, the central bank said, by the 10th of each month. To end the transaction of the money in the markets, about 15 trillion dinars are withheld by citizens. So that is a weird translation, but it's hard to get a good translation. The Kurds have two, well, I think they have more than two, but primarily there's two dialects, and you have to figure out which one the article's original language is. Then you might have to do two translations to get English, and then sometimes it still doesn't make sense, right? So that was the issue I was having with the video. Okay. Anyway, so then they have here economist Haider Sheikh said the central bank wants to solve the cash problem and eliminate the excuse of currency in transactions, so government offices and private banks have instructed to receive all kinds of money. I love that. All kinds of money, because the money paid for salaries will not be in the market. That doesn't make sense to me either, but hey. Previously, currency dealers and even some private banks accepted bills against the dollar at less than their value. But according to the new guideline, Bills will be accepted at the same value even if they are torn or old. So they're trying to get the citizens to bring money in, right? So, yeah, okay. So let's see, we're at 15 minutes. So we'll go through some of these. All right, now this came out today. The central bank postpones the requirement for prior customs declarations until 2026 and exempts 4 goods from the decision. So I've read this a few times, but I'm being told that no, it did. It still went into effect. So maybe a few items went into effect. Remember, this was the big, December 1st, there's going to be a new mechanism. They have to pre-calculate the customs, right? Remember all that? So then we get here and the CBI puts this out. To me, it clearly says they postponed on Monday the requirement for companies wishing to purchase dollars, but only until January 2026. So like they're giving them December maybe to get ready for it, with the exception of 4 specific commodities that will start mandatory as of December 1st. And I think it lists, gold and jewelry, mobile phones, cars, and refrigeration equipment. So gold and jewelry is one group, right? And then mobile phones, cars, and refrigeration equipment. All things that are very important, right? I hope you can't hear that. Well, whatever. Okay, let's see. According to the decision, the application of the prior declaration for companies importing the rest of the goods will be optional until the beginning of 2026. Now, you and we're thinking, January, right? But no, that's not how Iraq does it. The beginning of a year for Iraq could go to March. The first quarter is the beginning. Now it says here January. I know, it says January. But, just, if you haven't learned by now to not hold their timelines, to a hard time, then, stick around. You'll figure it out. All right. So there's that. Now tomorrow, the Security Council will hold a session on the situation in Iraq. I'm like, what situation? There's lots of situations, but UNAMI, I think that's the food thing for the people that don't have food. I don't know. I know it's the United Nations Assistance Mission for Iraq. I know that's what it stands for because that's what it says right here. Yeah. But, the UN has different, they have a group that deals just for the children. Let me see. They have a group that deals for the poverty, right? Then they have the food part. So there's lots of services. Well, there were. I think this administration cut back some of them, right? But, so that's why I'm not sure. But I do know at 6 p.m. Baghdad time, 10 a.m. New York time, the UN guy, Hassan something, he's going to give a speech on the situation in Iraq. So that's always interesting. You never know what kind of report. Oh yeah, here's his name right here. Mohammed Al-Hassan. You never know what kind of report they're going to get, right? All right. An economist reveals an impending shock threatening creditors with the possibility of a change in the exchange rate. So they had one day without discussing, at least in the articles, right, that I could see. Who knows what they did on TV. They did have, yesterday they had that Dinar show on again, and it was about me see. Inflation? No. Wait, let me go here. Where's the camera? That's not what I wanted either, but I think I can get, yes. Succeeded. No. Here, this was the title. Salaries, Bills, and Transactions, Iraq and the Journey to a Digital Economy. So I don't know if I talked about that in the last one or not, but that was that. Then they had another show on today, but I think it was pretty much the same thing because they talked to Safwan Kwase and, Mashadani. Mashadani said he thinks the dinar will devalue by 40%. But, yeah. So every day they're still being bombarded by things about the exchange rate. And so then here we have this guy. Remember DIA8? And I always say I can say Abdul Karim, but his first name, I don't know how to say that. And he said, talk of rising exchange rate is a frenzy media to serve this group. So he's saying they keep talking about it. And it's helping the speculators. That's who it's helping. After the rumors spread, there's just a media frenzy. There's no government control. No official government move. Right? So, and what is happening is the dinar dollar rate is 14.20 is the best value and 14.40 is the worst. And if you know me, I always say if it gets to 14.40, somebody's paying $1,500 because they're marking it up, right? So it is helping. All this talk is helping the dollar prices. Okay, so we're at 22. Here, supposedly the Kurds are going to get paid their 2 months, September and October. Yeah, they keep saying that it hasn't happened yet. This is a good article about the Securities Commission. They are partnering with this financial brokerage company, and here it says P as in Paul, D as in David, O, and then in another part it says B as in boy, David, O. So who knows? But this is another system that will help move. It's going to enhance investor confidence as well as contribute to the success of IPOs and support Iraqi companies in the stages of growth and listing on the market. So here it says BDO. Alright, so here if you'd like to support my FX buddies. Oh, I meant to move this. Well, actually, so a lot of people went to join the coin and the system went down. So it looks like he gave an extra 6 hours to accommodate that time when the system was down. So you still have time to get in if you'd like. That's, just if you'd like. And, but tomorrow, if I post tomorrow, which I think I will, because usually Tuesday into Wednesday is, a heavy news day, right? So this will no longer be there and we'll just be back to, you can buy me a coffee. This will be a live link when this blog is live, or Cash App is always live, $ Tishwash, and paypal.me/Tishwash. Big or small, I appreciate it all. Thank you in advance for your generosity. All right, here's another lovely little article. Political analyst, and here he is. I can say Alatwani. I'm not really sure how you say his first name, but Washington controls 90% of the government formation decision. He didn't hold back nothing. He put it out there. Washington controls 90%. And the coordination framework awaits Savaya's conditions. So, see, it's the same thing. They keep talking about, oh, he's coming, right? He's still not here. Well, according to the articles, he's not there. All right, so the key card is the guarantor of Iraq's funds. But I think they're being facetious because, remember, this key card just had a major outage on Black Friday. So now here they are. When you read this article, it's just everything about how good they are. They have advanced technology. They ensure smooth flow of funds to the rightful recipients. They work with the CBI, which regulates electronic payments and has contributed to a qualitative leap in this field, right? They have the best global payment systems, so I'm pretty sure that's why this article's out. Like, yeah, we just messed up. We had some outage issues. But come on, it's one of the busiest shopping days of the year, right? So then they had to remind them about how good they are. This is a pretty good article too. Iraq is going through a recovery phase and regaining its leading role in the region. Here, Sudani was talking to the new ambassadors, a group of new ambassadors, telling them they should stay in the middle. They shouldn't take sides, or those groups, they shouldn't be Sunni, Shia, whatever, right? Talked about being diplomatic and developing the economy through banking, customs, and tax reforms. Yeah, so he had a pretty interesting talk with them. Here's another group of Iraqi contractors not getting paid. So the last group that we talked about was Basra, was in Basra. Now, these contractors are in Dakwar, and they're saying, you know what, we're owed so much money, we're going to the World Bank to present the problem, and they're due like trillions of dinars. So yeah, good luck with that. I wish you well. Yeah, so that's two. Who else is out there that's just not getting the media coverage, right? All right. So here's a nice article about shell companies in Iraq. And first, when I saw it, I thought it was Shell, the oil company. But no, it's shell companies. Do they achieve economic growth, or are they just a shadow economy? I think we know the answer to that. They help somebody's economy, right? Because even the image, and I might use this image for those of you just listening, there's a whole bunch of dinar in the background, Iraqi dinar notes, and then there's two hands, and in front of the dinar, one hand is passing to the other some American money, USD, folded in half. So, what an image, right? That's like the perfect image for that article. All right, so here the framework had a really big meeting look, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, and I am anyway. At Maliki's house, supposedly they have a list of names, but they wanted to run those names by the supreme holy man. What's his name? Sistani. Yep. So maybe we'll get the names tomorrow. I'm not sure. But I don't think it matters because Baghdad is anxiously awaiting Savaya's arrival. Will the U.S. envoy directly intervene in the formation of the government? Yeah. They could just ask me, right? But no. So then there's some stuff down here at the bottom you might want to read. But they're saying that he has an advantage because he is Iraqi he can approach them on a brotherly level. Yeah. All right, so we're at 30 minutes. I apologize. Let me skip this. Here is, oh, you know what? That might be Anwar. So this is that video that I showed you. So I have the link here if you want to share it, but it's all in Arabic. But maybe you know some people that speak Arabic. So the central bank obliges private banks to accept all types of dinar currency. So YouTube, as you know, I just love YouTube's translation, right? No, I don't. It's awful. But they had this little thing that popped up when I highlighted it. And so I was like, okay, I'll try that. So I clicked on the little thing, and yeah, this is what we got. So the jokes about the Iraqi ministries are all over in the market. And then it says here, he means the rumors and gossip are finished. So over, ended, right? Probably it hasn't started yet. They took the money for the Iraqi banks. Why did they confirm it? And none of their employees got a single dinar of it. It smells fishy from these jokes side. Anyway, the entire movement of the Iraqi currency, providing money for salaries, is very, very important. But this is the problem. As for us, we'll manage, of course, no matter what kind of Iraqi currency it is. As long as my salary is available and comes on time, I'll accept it. Iraq isn't short. We have trillions of dinars. Then it says good for the banks. Up to now, the total in the market is close to 15 trillion dinar, and it's still coming out. All that money is in the streets for the banks to collect and clean the market. The citizen is the mediator of the state, or the citizen is stuck in the middle. Instructions to the banks: collect the money from the people. Go ahead, banks, buy it. The exchange/replacement will be from the end of the month until the 10th of the next month. So I'm thinking, even though this was uploaded one day ago, well, that would be November 30th. But I'm thinking it's talking about the end of November to the 10th of December. But it could be the end of December to the 10th of November as well. All right. But like I said, you can't really hold Iraq's time really, to the nail or whatever. You can't nail them down with their time. But so they have a plan, right, to bring this money in. So even the big employees of Tenkali, and so this AI thing probably says that's probably a company or an area, took it. Lebanon, Jordan, everywhere, they took all of the dinars. The Iraqi dinar versus the dollar today, and the last delay, the dinar will be good. 500, 500. And so this is in parentheses. It says 1 USD would equal 500 IQD. So that would be a change, right? That would be an improvement in the dinar. So don't ask me anything. I don't know. This is just the translation, right? So then here's a summary of what the guy's saying. The central bank is sucking trillions of physical dinars out of the market through the banks to clean the streets. Salaries will be paid no matter what. There will be a short window, end of the month to the 10th of next month, for people to exchange or deposit cash. He believes this all points to an imminent big jump in the dinar value. The dinar will be good, and even mentions a possible rate around the old 500 to 1,000. We've seen that 1,000 before, right? IQD per USD level that some gurus keep dreaming about. So I'm thinking this AI thing knows that I do videos about the dinar, right? Because I don't think they use the word gurus. I don't know. But I like that. Okay, so when you watch the video, there's going to be words on the bottom of the video. This, I believe, is correct because it's from that person that helps me sometimes. This is what it says. The central bank obliges private banks to accept all kinds of dinars. About 15 trillion dinars have been saved by citizens. The central bank, so it just repeats it again, that other, they have to take all kinds of dinars. Iraq spends about 7 trillion dinars monthly on salaries. So that was in the article, right? Then that same one about they have to take all kinds of dinars. The central bank wants to solve the cash problem. And then the central bank obliges private banks to accept all kinds of dinar currency. And it says it again. Okay, so this is 36 minutes. There's one more translation. This is from ChatGPT. But because of time's sake, I'm not going to read it. But that one is very interesting. So I put this down at the bottom because that's what I do for people. There's people that they like to hear about the articles but don't like to read them. So if you want to read all of that I just read to you plus what I did from the ChatGPT, and the video is there also, you could watch the video. I just like to watch them to see the cars and the people and the storefronts, and because it is in Arabic, so it's there at the bottom. All right, so thank you. I've taken enough of your time. I appreciate you spending your 30-ish minutes with me when I post. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and if you'd like to subscribe, you can. And as always, I remind you to accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Are you still eating leftovers? I don't know. It's Monday. Those leftovers may not be good anymore. All right. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time.